A question that many teachers like me frequently ask, specifically when trying to boost the low performance of students, is why is monitoring progress so important? And the answer is actually pretty simple. In MTSS, progress monitoring equips educators with the essential data to spot and tackle achievement gaps in the early stages. This ensures that all students, regardless of their background, receive the tailored support they need to succeed. Hi, I'm Lisa from Branching Minds and a former teacher. Let's dive into the what and the how of progress monitoring. Effective progress monitoring is critical for a successful MTSS practice. In addition to universal screening assessments, which are given to all students 3 times a year, students receiving Tier 2 or 3 levels of support should be given a progress monitoring assessment every other week or weekly, respectively. These data allow us to have better visibility into the effectiveness of our support. If things aren't adding up, it's our cue to adjust the intervention approach quickly to better suit the student's needs. These assessments should be quick, skill-focused, and backed by a solid track record of accurate and consistent evaluation. All right, so after you've got your baseline score from that progress monitoring assessment, the next step is to set up some clear criteria for what counts as sufficient improvement by developing a goal and intervention plan for the student. Side note, there's much more to grasp on progress monitoring than what we can feasibly cover in this video. That's why we created this free guide you can download now to stop second-guessing your student's progress and truly create the conditions where your student doesn't just make progress, but soars. Link is in the description. A useful acronym to guide you through this goal-setting process is SMART. This goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and also time-bound. For example, the student will improve reading fluency as measured by moving from the 18th to the 25th percentile on AIMSweb Plus oral reading fluency by 12/15/2024. Reaching the 25th percentile meets our district criteria for returning to Tier 1 level of support. Once you create that SMART goal, you have a good starting point to monitor your students' progress through the designated period. In order to get a clear picture of student progress, it's crucial to plot their assessment data and compare their rate of improvement, also known as ROI, with a target ROI for their goal. If you're using Branching Minds, you can actually see the rate of improvement on the student plan and progress page, and whether they are going to actually meet their goal. When interpreting the graph, you are going to determine whether the student is making sufficient growth, uncertain growth, or insufficient growth. Let's talk about what these mean. The first is sufficient growth. If the trend line is steeper than the goal line, this demonstrates the minimum desired growth has been achieved and the intervention is likely working. If those criteria are met and class performance has also improved, it's appropriate to reduce the intensity or level of support. If the student meets the goal but classroom performance has not improved, the RTI MTSS team should engage in individual problem solving to identify possible explanations. The second is uncertain growth. If the trend line is wavering around the goal line, then a closer look into the intervention would be helpful. A good place to start is checking if the student is actually receiving the intervention at the intended dosage. One, you can check for absences or schedule conflicts, and you can also check in on the fidelity of delivery of the intervention. The last is insufficient growth. If the trend line is falling below the goal line and the gap is actually widening, that should be a clear indication that the intervention is not working for the student and the plan should be changed. Check on those same issues that might be producing uncertain growth. So, going back to my initial question, why does progress monitoring even matter? Well, it's about making sure no student slips through the cracks. In MTSS, progress monitoring provides the opportunity for us to turn those data points into dialogue and numbers into narratives. making sure every child is seen, understood, and cared for. Grab our free progress monitoring guide, link is in the description, and also share your questions in the comments so that we can respond. If this video helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe to keep the MTSS learning going. See you on the next one.